So in Dream's latest video, he pulled off a pretty sick ladder clutch, and I thought I'd show you guys some tips for learning to ladder clutch yourself. Ladder clutching is super useful, especially in games like Bed Wars, where ladders are like super cheap and they can negate like all the fall damage. The first thing I want to talk about is practice. Some people think that you can just kind of like play Bed Wars and ladder clutch when you feel like it and like when it makes sense, and you'll get better and better at ladder clutching. But I highly recommend you actually have like a set formula for practicing your ladder clutches. So here I am in housing and I have a wall set up and I'm on this pillar. And so I can practice my ladder clutches just like that. And then I can just like warp back up and I can just keep practicing like that. There's also other blocks around the map I can jump towards. There's a one that's a lot closer. There's just all these, there's all these little things that I can practice on. Because you need like a condensed area where you just practice. If you just kind of sometimes do it in Bed Wars, you're never really going to get consistent. The next thing I want to talk about is aim. So when you're ladder clutching on a wall, you want to aim at like about 75 to 80 degrees, right? That's the area where you're gonna clutch the best, because you actually can't like attach to the ladder when you're like from your head. Like it's only on your legs, so your head won't actually attach to the ladder. See that? So you kind of need to aim downwards when clutching on like a wall or something. Like that. But when you're clutching onto just a singular block, like there, you actually want to kind of aim down, like that, because this block here is a lot easier. There's a bigger hitbox, and it'll still place the ladder, even if you're looking like this way, like on this, it'll still place the ladder anywhere on this block. So you really want to try to look just like down on this part, because that'll make it easier. Also, this can help you figure out where the hitboxes are. Because if you look at the hitbox, this is where you want to have your player in the hitbox of the ladder. And this is anything but this blue is where you want to be landing. Because if you land on the blue, you'll actually still take fall damage, because that counts as a solid block. But if you land anywhere on this part of the block with this hitbox, that's where the clutch happens. You can be like over here as long as you crouch. You don't actually have to be like right up against it. See how I was kind of like farther back when I clutched? I wasn't like pressing right up against the ladder. So you can actually be like a decent amount of away and still like make the clutch. As long as you shift, that's very important. You want to press shift as you clutch, or you'll just kind of slip off the ladder. So especially the farther away you are, you need to hold shift just as you place it. And when it comes to like the practice range that you make, kind of mix it up. Like I have this wall that's like a far away wall that I basically have to hold forwards the whole time to reach. And then I have this wall that's really close. So I also like to practice kind of wrapping around and trying to clutch on blocks that I can't even see, like that. I also just kind of spam blocks around, so there's like all these different places I can clutch on. You can even practice clutching on the pillar itself, like that. So just mix it up and really practice, because that's where that's how you're gonna really get good. Also, I highly recommend setting up a hotkey for your ladders, because a lot of time in Bed Wars, you're gonna be like in the middle of a fight, and you're just gonna get like knocked off. Like let's say I was like bridge fighting and I just get like knocked off. I have to instantly hotkey and like look for a place that I can ladder clutch on, or I'm just gonna die. So try to put your ladders in an easy accessible slot. For me, it's the 6th slot, and I have it as mouse button 4, which is a super easy button for me to press. But I don't know like what mouse you have. It might not be a very easy button. Just have it in an easy accessible spot if you're really gonna like get into ladder clutching. Also, really do it in game. Like I said that it's really good to practice here, but there's not just going to be a giant convenient wall for you to clutch on. You're going to have to know the maps and know where are good clutching spots. And with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Really try to get a feel for the spacing between you and the ladder, and like where the hitboxes are when you're practicing. That's what really helps me. Subscribe. How about this? If I can jitter bridge all the way across, you have to subscribe. That's the rules. Let's see. I got this. I believe in myself.